Alright guys, we're on the wing strut fairings today. The wing struts fit right in these two notches, top and bottom. That's where the strut, and these fairings, that's supposed to gain you quite a bit of speed. I don't know, they look nice, but they have to be sanded. They have molding ribs on them. Now some people leave them in there and paint them, and I'm not sure that's not a good plan to do, but we're going to try to sand some off of these, see how it goes, and try to get them things put on. Kind of something to look forward to after the wiring, to do something different. Kind of looking forward to it. If you don't have one of these dust catching, I've never had one before, just pick that up. I always wore a respirator, and there'd be nothing wrong with wearing one now, but there is absolutely no dust. I mean, the only dust I've got where I've touched the paper here in front of me. I don't even have dust on my arms hardly. That little vacuum system in those is worth all $39.95 that thing cost. All right. Get back at it. Hopefully they're in the right place. We just cut them a little long, and then we'll sand up to the line. Mount them on, and hope the diagram was right. All right, I'll show you how I did this. First thing you need to do is, once you've got this, make sure this is perpendicular, straight up and down, in other words. Make sure it's straight up and down, and mark it. There, mark these, mark the ears. I'm sorry if you're not getting, mark the width of your two ears here. And you need to know position on each side of those ears. This will help you make this job a lot easier. Just like that. Now what you end up with is, when you take this off here, you'll have a nice square box under there where the hole needs to go. And you'll take these off while you're fitting everything. But down here I have a piece of tape. I will measure, when I get some help, from this point here to this line here, and that will give you this line when you get your covering on here. Let's go over here and I'll show you a little better. when you measure from your tape back up here to cut your hole, that will get you, this line right here. Okay, so now you've got it marked. To get the proper position of your entire box, you want to run a straight edge from your mount up here back down to your mark here that you'll have here. And that will give you where the position of this thing, because it rotates, it will give you the direction of it back up to the mount. And then that will tell you where to cut your hole front and back, because you could be way off. You can be way off this way if you've got it tilted out of whack. So before you cut your hole, you want to get that straight line down to it so you know exactly where it needs to be. Then after that, this is pretty well 1/2 by 3/4 is what I cut. You might get it in a smaller hole. I tried a 1/2 by 1/2, and you just can't, because it goes in sideways. This is laying forward when you thread this through the hole to pull it up. So it has to kind of come back through here sideways. So a lot of people finish this out a little bit now. So if you're particular, you can do that before you paint. When no, you can't do it. Yeah, those will all be in there because we're getting ready to glue them on. And these have to be in there. Okay. So that makes life a lot easier if you'll just get this perfect measurement on both of those. That way you're not hunting so hard for that hole when you get ready to start. Here's that, what I was talking about, that having an angle. That way when your piece of plastic will be laying on here like this, you know what angle to cut it on by using a straight edge from here to here, just a little pipe dowel rod. You can even use these things again. They're just, if you're by yourself, they're pretty hard to hold up there. From this line back down, you'll be able to put your line. You know how wide your band is, so when you get ready to drill a hole, allow 1/2 your band past this mark, lined up with this, and then drill a small hole. What I do after I get this box, I told you end up with a box here. Just put an X in it, make a perfect X that goes to the middle of the hole. And then when you're drilling this hole through the plastic, after a while, out here, you drill it, and then you'll see how far off from your X you are. And you'll be close enough that you can use your X as a guide to lay out your 1/2 by 3/4 hole. And it just all comes out perfect like it's supposed to. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and work on this one, and we'll see how it gets along. Okay, we got one set fitted. We got one set is cut out and mounted. One thing I learned after about the 5th time taking them on and off after cutting these holes here is put a zip tie on them. That works really good. You just guide lean them forward, because this slides on this way, and get your zip tie through the hole. Once you get to, you can't hardly stretch it high enough to get it over the thing this way. So it has to be leaned forward, and get your zip tie started. And then as you go on, make sure your zip tie is through the hole, and it'll just guide everything in for you. Makes it really easy to put that on. Have this one you have to grind the inside out after you put them on here. If you notice this one pooched up there, can you see that? Let me get around it. Can you see how that one's pooched up right here? That's because these ribs on the inside have not been ground out. If you look, so be sure and carve out your innards when you're working on them. You can see in there maybe, yeah, see where the band is hitting. You have to cut out those humps there. Looks like someone left the G3X on. It's a good way to run the battery, Yeah, we're at 13.1. So, shut the avionics off. Shut that off. Save those batteries. Alright, we got our zip tie on. We're ready to put this side on. I'll show you how that works, maybe. Open this up, get your zip tie started. As your zip tie feeds out, grab that. As you pop that on, there she is. That's all lined up with your connection point up here, which looks to be about that angle right there. Those really help a lot. After I tried to fish the first one through, I decided there had to be something else. So those work pretty good at putting those in there. As many times as you have to take them on and off, you need that. Making sure the holes are right. Looks like everything fits good. Bottom's good. I've got to take them out and grind the inside of these where these bands set like I was showing you a while ago. So grind those out and then look like we'll be ready to glue them on here. Okay, we're checking the fittage on the lift strut covers. Looking good right down through there. Just like it ought to be. Everything fits. I believe that'll work. Alright, now we gotta do a little, gotta feel these. We've sanded these all the way down. We just got these two little dimples we gotta feel with something. And I need to nip off that much on the bottom of this one to make it even. The fit here is real good. So, looking good. All that's left's finishing. We've got the glue pumped in these and we're snapping them back down. They're really tight, so get you a good set of pliers and a rag and they snap back together pretty good. But boy, I thought you could snap them together with your hands, but you can't. That's all that one. That's it. All right, we've got them glued on. They're good and solid. We took the clamps off. Now we have these back areas to field. You guys know I've always been an advocate of using whatever you have on hand. If you got it, use it. So I started looking around the shop. I found these 99-cent yardsticks that Susan and I bought a couple of just because they was 99 cents and they had a really nice piece of wood on them. Oop. A really nice piece of wood. So we cut one out. I won't tell you where they came from because, you know, I don't like to advertise for people for nothing. But anyway, we put them on there and got that little piece out, sanded a little bit, and it just fits in there perfect. I'm not advertising for Menards, by the way, but I was belt sanding this while ago and it got away from me. I was belt eat it up a little bit. So we just had to turn it over and now it works. So These are really, really solid. Lauren Vogt, he used the Gorilla Glue adhesive. He was telling me he could push, pull, whatever he wanted to do on his, so that sounded a lot better to me. That's what I want, so that's what we used, and we'll see. I ain't gonna bear down them. I mean, they do really feel stout, but of course you can twist and bing, and you can get rough on them, so we'll see how they are after they set for a little while. Okay, I gotta make another one. Well, got them all sanded down ready. They're smooth as they can be. Not a ripple left on them. So they're ready for paint. I'm having a little trouble getting primer for some reason. Delivery systems are down. You know how the delivery. Anyway, we're ready for paint. Got them all slicked down. Finished filling all the highs and the lows, and she is smooth as it can be right now. I mean, just slick as a baby's behind. Got a little more fill on the bottoms, both sides. I put a little fill on them. They didn't quite suit me, but everything else is good. Ready to get some paint on these and get them back on the plane. The neighbors came over today. They've been married for 45 years. And the husband told his wife, said, you know, dear, we've been married 45 years and we haven't really done anything. He said, I'm going to take you to the Bahamas. And she was just like, wow, 45 years and I get to go to the Bahamas. Of course, like every good woman, you know, she wasn't quite satisfied with that. So she says, well, if you're going to take me to the Bahamas for my 45th anniversary, what in the world will we do for our 50th? He said, well, I'll come back and get you.